Welcome back, folks. So today is episode 2 of Antique Tools. So today's topic is this old tube tester. This has been around longer than I have. So I'll bring you in closer and we'll take a closer look at this. So this is a Weston Electrical Instrument Corporation mutual conductance tube tester and circuit analyzer. This is model 798 type 3. This dates back to 1946 and 1947. That's when this model or this type was manufactured. The Weston, Weston, W-E-S-T-O-N. The Weston Electrical Instrument Corporation dates back to 1888. It was founded by Edward Weston. He grew up in England and then came to the U.S. and started his company in Newark, New Jersey. The company was around in one form or another until 1989, and then I think it was phased out after that. Now this model, this Type 3 tester, cost $187 brand new. And that was a lot of money back in 1946 and 1947. That's probably equivalent to, what, about $2,000, maybe $2,500 today. So we'll get into the background on this specific tester. I'll open it up first. You can see up here is a chart for testing different tubes and how to set up the tester. There's the panel right there. So we'll get into a little more information on this specific tester here. But first, we're going to do sticker time. Okay, it's sticker time again. So I've got 2 envelopes to open today. So we'll start with this one here. I'll use my handy dandy old letter opener. And we'll see what's inside. So this is from Brian at Retired for Life. Oh, so we have a sticker. And 2 business cards. I really like Brian's little logo there, channel logo. That's really sharp. Got saw blade, handsaw, hammer, little house or shed, tractor, and trees. Pretty sharp. And there's a letter as well. So it says, "Hello, Rick. Please find enclosed one of my channel stickers and a couple of my new business cards. Thank you very much for your support. I see you started on YouTube much the same way I did. I used to own a Gold Wing. I've got a, well, right now I have a Yamaha V-Star cruiser motorcycle. So he used to own a Gold Star. Sarah and I covered a lot of Canada, coast to coast, as well as exploring a lot of the U.S. East Coast. I had a channel that covered some of this. And my channel started basically as a motorcycle and aviation video channel. We sold the bike and basically stopped doing videos. As I came up to retirement, I decided it might be fun to document my new life, and it has been. I see you have been having your fair share of adventures on your new property. I hope you get the flooding issues resolved. So do I. That doesn't look like much fun. No, it isn't. I still have to talk to the new abutter and see if they'll fix this for me. Well, thanks again and stay safe and happy. Sincerely yours, Brian Carpenter. So thank you, Brian. Your sticker will be going up on the board behind me, and I'll find a good place for your cards as well. And now for envelope 2. Now, this envelope is from David at RCAF Polar Express. And many of us know David. You just watched for the guy with the yellow and black safety stripes. If you've watched David, you know what I'm talking about. So it says, "Good day, mon ami. Thank you very kindly and keep warm. Cheers, David." And here is David's sticker. Very nice sticker. It's got the Canadian maple leaf on it. And there are the there are the yellow and black stripes. So David, your sticker will be going on the board with Brian's at the same time. So let's go over to the board and we'll put these stickers on. Okay, so I think Brian's sticker is going to go right here next to Luke. I think that's a good place for it. I'll get it straight. It looks pretty straight to me, right about there. There you go, Brian. And now David's. And David's going to go right here. Right next to this guy. Sorry, David. And it looks pretty straight right there. Here you go. They're both on. So Brian's got an interesting channel. He's located, I believe, in central Ontario. He's got a BX or a Kubota BX23S subcompact tractor. So a number of his videos show him working on his property and around his property with his Kubota tractor. He also does some woodworking projects. He's got a really nice workshop. I'd really like to have a workshop like his. He does some cooking videos and some trail cam videos. And he recently participated in the wood stove challenge. And he presented his Harmon pellet stove. Really interesting video. Showed how he maintains the stove and provides pros and cons to a pellet stove versus a wood stove. There are advantages and disadvantages to both types of stove. So a really interesting video, and I really encourage you to go visit Brian at Retired for Life. And David at RCAF Polar Express. I believe David still serves with the Royal Canadian Air Force. He's been with them for many years, and I think he's hoping to retire sometime soon. Now, David's got a Mahindra E-Max 20S tractor, I believe it is. David's well known for his safety videos and his maintenance videos. He's got a number of videos on maintaining his tractor, his Mahindra tractor, his John Deere garden tractor, and his Toyota vehicle. He's also got a fantastic video, and I believe it was a series of videos on the construction of a chimney for his wood stove that he recently installed. And David's very well known for resisting the urge to join the tractor cab collective. Kind of like me, no tractor cab on my tractor, but that's more or less because I'm too cheap to buy a cab for it. So anyway, both of these channels, RCAF, Polar Express, and Retired for Life, both fantastic channels. I encourage you, go check them out and subscribe. You won't be disappointed. All right, so now on this specific tester right here, this has been around as long as I can remember. This was my father's tester, and I'm not sure how he acquired it. I don't know if he bought it somewhere, if he bought it new, if he bought it used. I don't know if he brought it back with him from the Navy. As I said earlier, these were manufactured in 1946 and 1947. And from the research I did, the Navy used some of these testers at that time. My father was served in the Navy from 1944 to 1948. And I know he did some radio work and some electrical work in the Navy. So I don't know if this was something that somehow he managed to acquire from the Navy. I don't know. I never asked him where it came from, but it was around as long as I can remember. So I worked with my father for years repairing televisions and radios. So I learned how to repair those from my father back years ago. As most people know, radios and televisions had vacuum tubes inside them. So those tubes could be tested with this tester here. You can also do other testing too, other electrical testing with it. We tested car batteries and starters and alternators and generators on cars, but it was used primarily for testing the tubes on the radios and televisions. So over in this compartment here, little storage compartment, these are the leads that plug in right over here. These are not the original leads. The original leads were around for years. I remember using the original leads. And then sometime probably in the 1980s, I went to use this one day, and I can't remember what happened. It was either the leads were missing or they were damaged, worn out. I can't remember, so I bought these. So those are the leads you use to test different electrical connections. And then I just realized today that this electrical cord here actually is wired into this tester. And I never knew that. I always saw this cord in that storage compartment there and thought it was just an electrical cord stuck in there. I never realized that it was wired into the panel. So an interesting find for me today. So now, in order to test the tubes, let me pull this up for you. So there's a chart here with a long list of tube types. So if you had to check a certain tube, you could look on this chart and see where all the settings have to be on the panel down below to test the tube. So like right here, there's 6SJ7 for a tube. All right, so if you're testing that tube, you plug it into the appropriate port here. Figure out which one you have to plug it into, and then on the chart, it's got all of the settings here for filament volts and control settings, the GM switch position. So I'll show you the panel here. All right, so for that 6SJ7, the filament volts is 6.3. So I had it on 6.3. For the control settings, for A, that would have to be on 20. For B, would have to be on 3, where it is. C would be on 8, where it is. D would be on 38, right about there. And and then you can test the tube to see if it's working properly. And I think you might have to adjust some of these too. I forget, like up here is DC volts and AC volts. So I think you would have to set this for, so let's say for a television, you have to set it on AC volts, 150, I believe. It's probably 110. Well, that's yeah. I think we'll have to go on 150 volts there. It's been so many years since I've worked with this, I don't remember what to do with all the knobs here. Oh, and then on the 6SJ7 tube, the GM switch position would have to be 3000, which is where it is. Now, this hasn't worked in many, many years. And one of my assumptions was that there's a battery inside that died, because I used to be able to test things without this plugged in. Never even had that plugged in. I used to be able to test different connections and it would work. And then one day, years ago, it just stopped working. And it wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years ago, that it stopped working. So what I did is, for the first time, I just did this. I took the screws out of all the corners here and pulled this panel up to see what's inside. So let me back you up a little bit there. I'll lift this up. And show you what I found. This really is amazing here. And there is a battery. Now this is a Burgess battery, 7.5 volt C battery. I'm guessing these batteries are, or this battery, whatever it is probably original. I don't remember my father ever replacing it, and he would have shown me how to replace it. So that's the brains, in a way, to the at least the heart to the operation here. There is a broken wire here. I don't know what that goes to. I found it that way. Another interesting find is some old newspaper pieces in here. I don't know how those got in there or why. But those date back probably to the 1950s. And for some reason, those little pieces of newspaper are in there. But this is quite an elaborate setup, especially for 1940s. That's high tech for 1940s. Quite a setup. All right, so we'll put this back. Okay, folks. So as always, thanks for stopping by. If it's your first time here, thanks for visiting. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.